from a magical land called London. It is a fine place of opportunity where the streets are paved with gold. You must go now, and seek out your fortune.
Uncle laughed at his words.
What are you talking about? My knowledge and persistence has allowed me a great job here. I have many friends and I'm very tall. What more do I need?
When I was young, my elders loved to tell me stories. Vibrant and clever African folktales, like how the tortoise cracked its shell, why the sun and the moon live in the same sky, or the cunning exploits of Anansi the spider. Or sometimes strange stories, like how a white girl stole food from bears and got away with it. I would often wonder, would I ever become a story? And if so, how? To answer this question, I will share with you a simple folktale taught to me by an elder about a man who traveled to a far land in search of a better life. This is the story of Uncle. Years ago, in a beautiful sunny land, there lived a man of great knowledge, perseverance and height named Uncle. Uncle was a computer whiz with promising prospects and was the envy of all his friends. He had a good life. Then one day, a finely dressed friend with a strange accent said to him,
Uncle, I have just come from a magical land called London. It is a fine place of opportunity where the streets are paved with gold. You must go now, and seek out your fortune.
Uncle laughed at his words.
What are you talking about? My knowledge and persistence has allowed me a great job here. I have many friends and I'm very tall. What more do I need?
But Uncle's words were hollow, for he had heard the tales of London, the land of opportunity and dreams. He yearned to dance in its golden streets and enjoy the beautiful British weather. So, like many other hopeful Africans in the 80s, Uncle left his home to seek his fortune in London. And like so many of his people, Uncle wondered if he'd made a mistake. The London that faced Uncle was dark and angry. It was a cold and neglected land, constantly on the brink of riots and chaos. This was not exactly what Uncle had expected, but still, he said to himself,
I shall make my fortune here in my new home, for I am a man of great knowledge, perseverance and height.
So for over a year, Uncle searched for work until finally he found a permanent job as a janitor in a synagogue in East London. This was not the white-collar job Uncle had wanted, but he would never complain. Uncle worked hard, dusting, lifting, and plunging the deepest, dirtiest toilets. And with his small money, he was able to rent a tiny room. Yes, it was a damp, dirty, and dismal space where pests scurried around him, but it had charm. A few days later, Uncle attended a friend's party, feeling proud and confident.
After much hardship, I am finally settling into this country,
he bragged.
My friends, perhaps this can be my new home after all.
Uncle's friends cheered and they danced late into the night. But when it came time to take his leave, they stopped him, for the London nights could be dangerous for Uncle's kind. But this was his home. What did he have to fear? So he set off. But Uncle should have heeded their warnings, for he had been followed. As Uncle continued his journey, a red car approached and then splash! An egg hit him right on his knowledgeable head. And before Uncle knew it, violent men began to pelt him with eggs as they laughed and shouted awful things. Satisfied with the hurt they had caused, the men sped off, leaving Uncle to run all the way home, scared, sticky, and desperate to escape the cold London night. And as he sat in his damp, ugly room, surrounded by rats and cockroaches, he wondered, was this really the land of dreams he had been promised? Had he left his entire life behind for a lie? And suddenly, for the first time in his life, Uncle felt like a foolish, weary, small man. Clearly, Uncle had been mistaken. This foreign land could never be his home. As time passed, Uncle continued to work through his misery. Then one day, a great cry came from an office down the hall. It had come from Mrs. Rosenberg, his manager. Uncle doubted that he, a foolish, weary, small foreigner, could do much. But still, he rushed to her aid.
I cannot work this devilish machine.
Luckily, Uncle knew just what to do. This was a simple problem he'd dealt with many times back home, and to Mrs. Rosenberg's shock, he solved it with ease.
This is wonderful. From now on, we will bring you all of our computer problems. I'll also double your salary and you can work weekends. All of this will be your reward, for you're a man of great knowledge, perseverance, and height.
Uncle was elated, and as the community celebrated their genius janitor, he began to believe that maybe, just maybe, this land could be his home after all. The end. So, let me ask you, when does a story become a story? Don't worry, I'm not testing you. But now that you have heard Uncle's tale, I will leave you to consider it. And my hope is that someday, when it all becomes clear, you will share your own stories as aunties and uncles. When I was young, my elders loved to tell me stories. Vibrant and clever African folk